How's it going, guys? It is Grizzle, and I'm sure a lot of you were probably expecting a video from me sooner or later. I finally got round to talking about what I want to talk about. So if you haven't been on Evolve in the last few days, you will not know that the micro patch for the game has been released. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video knows about the micro patch and knows what is in it, but in case you don't, I'll leave a link at the top of the description which I recommend you go watch first, which explains all the changes that have come to the game. So the main purpose for this micro patch was to ensure that we actually had something added to the game while we're waiting for the next big title update. And Evolve didn't want to leave us completely and utterly in the dark, so they have given us this patch, which is going to hopefully make the game a lot more balanced. And let me talk before you probably start leaving your angry comments, because I know a lot of people have not taken to this micro patch too kindly. Just to recap on what's been changed, a lot of the monsters have had some really major buffs, and some of them a little bit too much, some of them probably just about right. Then we have had some nerfs and some characters just simply not being buffed or nerfed, but just adjusted in the way they work to try and make them a little bit more balanced or to just work a lot better. But personally, I think with the right tweaks that this micro patch is definitely for the better. Just for those of you that are perhaps a little bit upset about the changes that have come in, do not worry, these changes are not permanent. And if you think these changes are pretty big, well, I can tell you now, you have definitely not seen anything yet, and there is a lot more plans for way bigger drastic changes, which I'm going to get into later in the video. But first, let me cover the actual purpose of this micro patch. Oh my god, I couldn't even see in that shit. That's like what the? Oh my god, that's... So if you couldn't already tell, a lot of monsters that were originally useless in comparison to, say, Goliath or Kraken are now very viable and insanely good. Now, from a hunter point of view, it has been quite difficult because now you have to respect monsters that you originally wouldn't, because Gorgon, Wraith, and, you know, in general, those monsters are just far more powerful than they originally were. This isn't to say they are balanced, however, playing on PC as Hunter, I haven't really seen a massive issue. I've been able to deal with the monsters and their changes. However, I have seen a lot of people having problems with it, especially on console. So for those of you that can't stand Elder Kraken, can't stand Gorgon, can't stand Wraith, whatever it may be, there is another patch coming out, probably I would have thought within the next 2 to 3 weeks. They are just nerfs to certain things, which I'm sure a lot of you will agree with. I'll leave the link to this forum post in the description if you want to go check it out. But either way, that's coming pretty quickly, so hopefully it will just hit the sweet spot and everyone will be happy all round. So now I've actually covered the micro patch and all the drama related round that. You don't need to worry about it, but this wasn't the main purpose for this video. I know I keep banging on about it, but it is going to be epic when the next title update, or more specifically, title update 9 comes out for Evolve. And I don't think a lot of people really realise the mass changes coming to the game. So I've found a few teasers on the forums here and there. That means that they may be changed at any time, but still some pretty big ones that I thought I'd share in this video, and I think a lot of you will be interested and probably quite excited to hear. First of all, the monsters point system. Now, I did mention already that this was going to get some kind of change, but there was no specifics about how it was going to be changed. This particular change sounds so small and simple, yet it's going to change how monsters might play dramatically. Of course, the way it works now is very simple. You put 3 points into your abilities before the game starts at stage 1. Then, of course, when you evolve, you get another additional 3 points to put into your abilities, and then finally, as expected, you get another 3 points at stage 3. So the change is very simple. At stage 1, you will get 4 points. At stage 2, you will get exactly the same as you did before, 3 points, but then at stage 3, you will get 2 points. So just to let you know how that's going to process and work in game, it basically means that stage 1 and stage 2 for monsters are going to be a little bit more powerful than before. This in no way should make hunters upset. It does mean you'll have to be more prepared for the fact that at stage 1, if they want to, they can have all 4 abilities, but as you will know, a lot of monsters at the moment tend to like to go for the fleetal stage 3 strategy. By giving that extra point at stage 1 and 2 does encourage more engagement, which means that, you can still run till stage 3 if that's what you want to do, but by doing this, it will encourage more monsters to try and get those strikes early on and, less mitigation in those first domes. Either way, if you've got a good team on your hands, you should be catching the monster at stage 1 and 2 as well, but it just means it's going to benefit you a lot more trying to engage in those domes rather than completely and utterly full out mitigating. The one other scenario that I see this majorly benefiting the monster at stage 1 is the fact that you will be able to take on large wildlife a whole lot easier. You will find yourself feeding on smaller wildlife at stage 1 and leaving anything big to deal with at stage 3 because you just simply don't have the time to deal with it at that stage. Of course, don't get me wrong, monsters do engage on larger wildlife at stage 1, but by this change being implemented, it will be a lot safer and quicker to deal with big wildlife, meaning you're going to take less damage and be rewarded with more meat. Last thing to mention on this particular change, it appeals and helps out new players. Reason being, for a new player that doesn't have much knowledge of the game and only has a rough understanding of what to do, it means it's going to be a little bit easier and safer for them to feed up, and if they decide to engage at stage 1 and stage 2, which is more than likely, it does mean they aren't going to be completely and utterly punished for it, especially if they're going against players that are similar in their skill level. That is also one thing to take into account when I mention the rest of these changes. This title update is also made to really appeal to new players and make Evolve more widely available to people that want to play it. People like myself, and I'm sure a lot of you watching who have played the game for quite a long time, will know that there is actually a lot to learn, and it does take quite a long time to play Evolve to a very high standard. This is also very similar in other multiplayer competitive games such as Dota 2, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, etc, etc. So now moving on to the next change, which is definitely the larger of the changes that might be coming to the game, and remember that these are very vague things that have been said, so again, it might not be very accurate, but still it sounds like this is the direction the game is going, and sounds pretty insane. So without further ado, let's talk about the perks and buffs in Evolve. As all of you should know, before a game begins, for a hunter or monster, you are able to pick a perk to try and help you in your playstyle. Then adding onto that, you can find in-game what's called elite wildlife. These are the albino wildlife you can find all over the map, and if you kill them, depending on which one you've killed as a hunter or monster, you can get certain buffs from them. But of course, those are only for a short period of time and not permanent. So in total, you can have 2 perks at once. But what if I told you you could have 3 perks at once? You may think that's pretty overkill, but that is what might be happening, and if done in a balanced way, could be rather interesting. Again, a lot of what I'm saying is kind of speculation and just a few teases that I've read here and there, but the reason for it, I would have thought, is because it's going to make the game a lot more interesting, a lot more fast-paced, and will help out new players again in that sense. This is because A, it'll make it a lot more fun, and B, because of those extra perks, it means you're going to have a lot more chance of dealing with situations on your own. So for instance, if you're on a hunter-sided team, perhaps a team that doesn't know much about what they're doing, then you do have more perks that you can rely on to try and help you in that situation. Now, I know the reaction I'm going to get, but Grizzle, can I have increased speed and feeding speed and climb speed and absolutely rape everyone, because I can just run forever and ever and ever? Now, there is going to be limits, of course, about what perks you can have together, and that's without going to say that they might even change all the perks that might be available to you. The only way I can see it working at the moment is, say if I pick one perk, then it'll limit you to the other perks you can actually choose. So for instance, if I chose jetpack recharge, I might not be allowed increased speed or jump height or perks that genuinely go together. Or I might be completely wrong and you might be allowed any combination of perks you like. But this is just speculation. Again, I don't think I've actually read anything that's, specifies exactly how this is going to work, but still it's interesting to think about. So then that brings me on to the wildlife buffs and what's actually going to happen to them. If a change like this to the perks happens, it undoubtedly is probably going to mean that the wildlife buffs are also going to get some sort of change. They may simply keep them in the game and you might have the ability to have up to 4 perks, although that sounds a little bit insane. Some people arguably don't want them even in the game because it can make situations rather unbalanced and unfair. Now, one thing that I have read, and it will be coming in the next title update, all hunters will have health regen. Reason why is because for new players it does give them more hope and more of a chance, especially when they have medics that perhaps aren't very experienced. It also means if a hunter is left on their own, they are left with more of a clutchable situation because they can actually get away and regen their health. So, if that's the case, then that means that the health regen perk has to be taken out for an option for hunters, and then the health regen buff that you can get from the Tyrant, for those of you that didn't know that, although I'm sure a lot of you did, will have to be changed out for a different perk, removed from the game altogether, or will be left in, and if you do take it, then it will stack your health regen and you'll have better health regen, if that makes sense. As far as perks go, that's at least what I've heard, and don't take my word for it, any of those things might be false and they might change at any time. Either way, it does give you an idea of how far this title update is likely to go in terms of how the game is going to differ, and arguably probably one of the biggest updates Evolve has ever received. So the next thing I'm going to move on to, which I know for a fact is going to be getting changes, is the maps. You undoubtedly probably have maps that you like and dislike. Well, the good news is all maps, as far as I'm aware, are going to be reworked. So basically, a lot of the maps are going to be cleared up for areas that make it quite unbalanced. So basically the removal of corners where monsters can trap and kill hunters, as well as ridiculous cheese spots where monsters just find it impossible to try and catch a hunter that's running around that area. Now, I know that quite a few people probably just want a brand new map to go in with the mix, and for all I know that might be a possibility. I genuinely think there is a lot Turtle Rock is kind of hiding from us, and we will not find out until it all comes apparent in this update. However, it will be interesting to see what they have done for all this time. Of course, I'm giving you sort of slight hints to what we might be seeing, but I genuinely think they are hiding a lot from us, and I think we will probably be pleasantly surprised with what they do give us. I mean, not to mention so many other teasers that they're just not giving the information for. For instance, we are likely to see a change in the support's cloak, or that has been teased anyway. So that might mean the removal of it altogether, and it might be replaced with something completely different for the support, or maybe it's just going to be changed up, but either way it's something that definitely has been teased. Anyway, as far as I'm aware, those are the only details I know about the next title update, and you have to remember that they're probably hiding a lot more. I wouldn't even say that was half of it. They're probably hiding the bigger, more exciting stuff to come. I mean, it was said by Corey, I believe it was, that it's the holy grail of Evolve builds. So all I have to say is they have a lot to live up for now, and I guess they better not disappoint. I guess that does bring me on to the issue regarding player base, and trust me, this isn't me living in fucking denial, and neither are Turtle Rock Studios. They are completely and utterly aware that Evolve does have an unhealthy number of players. Now, I could probably sit here for an hour ranting about the stupid reasons of why that is, but the truth is they have been crunching for the last few months, hence why we haven't seen anything for what feels like ages. I can tell you now that they won't have invested that amount of time, and I would have thought quite a bit of money, for this to all go to waste. So for all the work that they've done in the background, which a lot of it we haven't even seen, they are going to want it to be viewed by the public as much as possible, which does mean they are going to advertise it in some way. I have no idea how they're going to go about doing that, but we are likely to see some sort of trailer. You know, that's how big this title update is likely to be. And that doesn't include the possibility for all these different variations to be coming out, and who knows, maybe even a tier 6. So, as you can imagine, it is in their best interest to make Evolve as widely available to as many people as possible, and hopefully that's something that we will get to see. But even so, the competitive side of the game is going to be picking up. There's quite a few tournaments that are in store. In fact, as of the day you're watching this video, there is a special tournament set up purposely for people that want to make friends on Evolve. Basically, it's a free agent list, so basically you sign up, you get assigned a random team, and then you all go against each other. It's called DICE. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out, and you can sign up today and meet some new people to play the game with. It's mainly about building friend lists, because I know that's very important. I mean, I have a large friend list I can play with, but I'm sure there's a lot of other people watching this video that would be interested in doing that. I will be signing up myself and playing, so hopefully I'll get to see a few of you in-game. And of course, the teams are all random, so it's going to be completely oblivious to who's going to come out on top, but hopefully you can see some sick plays, boys, and yeah, if you've ever wanted to get more involved with the community, that's the best way of doing it. Anyway, that's my side of this video. I do hope it was pretty damn informative. I'm so fucking pumped for what's to come, and genuinely never gonna stop loving Evolve. But instead of just ending the video, I thought I'd show you some high-level play of me just being in spectator mode. But we've been trying out some new comps with a bunch of guys that I've been playing with, and I have to say, Tech Sergeant Hank is now fucking Jesus. So without further ado, this is now what Tech Sergeant Hank can do with Lazarus.
Normally, I try and throw it from here.
Nightmare, what's that?
Right, Riverman, if he targets me out, I'm gonna try and mitigate around down here and stuff like that.
I'll tell you what,
try
there's an area, wherever you
down
threw it before, Pete, there's an area down, sort of, not where Big Sexy is now, but like slightly further down, where I think it's by that, it's not that rock, but the next one down next to the tree. Like, you had a little gap you could run through down there.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
area.
basically,
how about in here
from that dome, Laz will be out there. That's as far as it goes.
Come on.
Pete, do you see where I am at the moment?
Do what?
Do you see where I'm at the moment?
Yeah.
There you are.
I mean, I'm not sure you want it too small for Goliath, but...
That hit me. That fucking, don't waste the energy, please. It's key for winning this game. That hit. I'm gonna cloak. Dome him out. Dome him away from me. Dome him away from me.
Oh, no,
that was good.
Are you outside?
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
outside.
good.
Jesus, that was
like
beautiful.
perfect. Like there couldn't have been any more perfect either.
I have redeemed myself.
Oh, that's a nice spot around there, Pete. Oh, that's... Oh, no, sorry.
Oh my god.
Meteor, no.
Oh, come on.
Right, just damage, yeah.
Damage up.
I'm still in biz.
Gambling.
God, he knows exactly where I am.
Nice, you got him.
Time is almost up. Get ready to dodge. Rock. Switching to grenade. Healing is possible.
Yeah, I see what you mean now, Grizzle.
Yeah,
It's constantly giving a bit, isn't it?
yeah, definitely.
1 second.
So he's got cloak.
You'd be surprised how much charge stops him from
Are you
doing
okay,
permanent
Dan?
damage.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Are you sure?
Oh no, he found me.
Oh my god.
No!
No, I'm coming in with this.
Gambling's punish him.
This side.
He can't stay
This
for
side.
long. He can't stay for long. If he gets a penalty, he won't be able to guard that. So
Gonna fight.
don't worry if you go down. He will be punished. He's gonna have to leave.
There.
Gambling's still
Oh, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
He's all in, isn't he?
Oh, I thought Gambling had a person. He's back up again though. GG.
I'm miles away, but
Yeah,
he should be dead.
Tech Sergeant Hank's the new god. Definitely.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
Great game.
Oh,
Impressive.
I'm still happy with that last time.
Fuck. Yeah, that was perfect, to be honest, mate.
Oh. Like, I was so close, like, he was half health. I could have easily killed him. And that dome within, I just stood in it for about 5 seconds going, fuck. What am I gonna do now? Oh well.
They are
GG.
the best out
GG,
there.
man.
Oh, I hate that. It's the one comp I can't do.
Yeah, I must admit.
How do you think
I'll
I
go
felt
against
against fucking
Sonny
Laz earlier?
anytime.